Okay, are you ready for the next tutorial? I'm Stickmasterluke, and here we go. So we're making a function that drops a net gun. Okay. Drop net gun. Pose. So we're giving a position of where we want a drop to be. So creating a drop. Okay. Local pickup equals. So this pickup should look exactly like what you're gonna get. So we're just gonna copy the netguns handle. So server storage. So this is the netgun. This is the handle of the netgun, the physical object of the netgun. We're gonna clone that. Okay, so the pickup is a clone of the handle of the netgun. So right now it's a part, and right now it's named handle. We're going to name it pickup. Just so if you look at it in workspace, you know what it is. This needs to be anchored so it doesn't go anywhere. And it can be can collide false, just so you can like walk through it. It feels more pickup-y. It's better this way. And it's C-frame. It's going to be the position that we're giving it. Cool. Whoops, what am I doing? Add item. Before we parent it, we gotta. It's nice to add everything to the debris service. So it should never last more than the round time. Just in case something happens, if code breaks, if something happens and it's still there, it will eventually get removed. Do we have the debris service? We do. Okay, cool. Okay, so this puts it out there, but this is just a physical part that's just floating in space where they got blocks. So we gotta actually put in the code that gives them the net gun. Let's do one other aesthetic thing first, just so people know that it's a pickup. Sparkles equals instance.new. Okay, so I'm adding some sparkles to it just so players understand that, hey, this is a pickup. Kind of gives them the hint, you know. The sparkles will go inside of the handle, so the sparkles are sparkling from the handle. Okay, and the sparkle color I gave it is RGB 0.5, so it's mostly blue, but also a little bit of green, and it's not red at all. Okay. Yeah, so now for the logic that so this right here is just a physical essence in game that is a pickup. It's not actually the tool. So what's going to happen is when this thing's touched, we're going to want to make sure that it's not the Bloxxer, and if it's not the Bloxxer, then we're going to remove this pickup and then clone the net gun and put it into the player's backpack. So we're going to need a touched event on this. Touch ed touched event connect function. Hit is what the touched event is going to return, like what physically collide with it. This is probably going to be a player's arm or leg. So we're going to look for the humanoid, see if there's a humanoid of what touched this. So the hit's parent would be the character, and then inside the character would be the humanoid. If there is a humanoid, and this humanoid is alive, then they're a valid candidate to be able to pick up this this tool. Okay, let's find the player associated with this character. Get player from character is a very useful function that's part of players. Cool. And hit.parent would be the character if there's a humanoid in there. And so this will return the player if there is a player to this character. If it's a zombie, it'd be no, because there's no player to the zombie. Okay, so if player and player doesn't equal Bloxxer. Actually, if player, yeah. If player isn't Bloxxer, then so everyone besides the Bloxxer can pick this up. Cool, we're almost done. Let's just find their backpack and then give them the tool. So we're cloning the net gun, the entire gun, not just the handle this time, and we're giving this to the player. I touched it. Cool. And when we're doing this, we're just gonna we're gonna set the sheriff. So the new sheriff is this player that just picked up the net gun. Congratulations. Find the Bloxxer. One thing, just to be safe, we want to make sure that we don't give this out twice. Like, we don't want the same pickup to be touched 2 times at the same time by 2 different players. So we're gonna make a real quick check to make sure. Okay, so what's happening here is for this pickup, we don't want to give it away twice. Because if 2 players touch this at the exact same time, it might give them both it. So we want to, once we give it away once, we set given to true. And then when we try to give it away, every time we check to make sure that given is set to false. And when we create it, we set given to false. Cool. Also, the net gun itself, the net gun, what it does is it sets people's walk speed. When you shoot them with the net, it sets their walk speed to really small, and this is a problem because it never gets set back. If we remove the tool and create a pickup, we have to set everyone else's walk speed back, because that code in the gun doesn't fix people because we remove it. So we have to fix it here. So we're going to iterate through all the players, and we're going to find all their characters, and if anyone's character's walk speed is less than 16, we're going to set it back to 16. Making sure the player and the player's character exists, and that the player's character is in workspace. There's their humanoid. If the humanoid's health is greater than 0, sorry, that's not what we want to do. If the humanoid's, we don't even care about its health. All we care about is the walk speed. If its walk speed is less than 16, then it needs to be fixed. So humanoid dot walk speed equals 16. Boom. Done. We did it. We fixed it. The humanoid's walk speed is now 16. So as we remove the, if we remove the net gun while it's in the middle of working, it won't fix everyone else's walk speed. So if we make a new pickup, this would be the time that you'd set everyone's walk speed. We might want to do this as well when players are spawning. Let's see. When we teleport players into the game, we're going to want to make sure that their walk speeds are... is humanoid even here? So let's make sure that they have full health and their walk speed is set to normal before when a game is starting. So I went down to teleporting contestants function, or part of the code, not function. Okay, I'm gonna go teleport them. Let's also humanoid dot health is equal to 100, their max, and humanoid dot walk speed is equal to default, which is 16. Cool. Cool. What else? There was one other thing we needed to do. That was make sure the sheriff doesn't block bystanders. So where am I? Okay. New character. In the new character function, we do one thing, which is make sure the sheriff drops their net gun if they get blocks themselves. And then now we got to make sure that the sheriff isn't being unfaithful to the people. Local tag equals, so we have to figure out who blocks this player. So this function is new character, and when this new character dies, we gotta figure out who done it. So we're looking for the creator tag that the weapons input into the humanoid. So if we find this creator tag, that means someone blocks this person. If not, that means that they probably jumped off the map, or they died some natural way. So if this tag exists, and tag.value, so the value of this tag is a player, and we have to do lots of checks to make sure that it isn't nil. Cool. Good. So if this person that gets blocked isn't the Bloxxer, actually the tag.value is the person who does the bloxing. So if the person who blocks this person isn't the Bloxxer, the blocks player isn't the Bloxxer. Okay, so we're making sure to check to see if this is an unfaithful one. We want to make sure that the person that gets blocks, this is the Bloxxer, tag.value. This is whoever blocks this player. If whoever blocks this player isn't the Bloxxer, then the only other case that this would be okay is if the player getting blocks is the Bloxxer. And so we want to make sure that it's not the Bloxxer that's getting blocks, and I don't know. Okay, so that's the logic for that. The wrongdoer. This should be the sheriff. that blocks the wrong person. That is tag.value, wrongdoer. Wrongdoer.character. The character is in workspace right now, in existence. Then we want to tell them, hey, you messed up. You netted the wrong person, and you're going away. This is our humanoid. We don't care if they're already blocks themselves. We're just gonna make sure and blocks them to be sure by setting their health to 0. So, if this sheriff netted the wrong person, your health is now 0. That means that you yourself are now bloxed, and then the net gun gets dropped and some other bystander could pick it up and try to save the day. Okay, and keeping track of points. So, we set up a point system, but we're not actually giving any points yet. So let's make a function that awards points, and then sprinkle it over our script to figure out where and when people want points. So we're gonna make a function to make things easy. Easy for us. So we can just call this function, say give this player this many points, and it will do that, and that's it. If player and points, then make sure that we're sending it valid information. Now all we need to do is change this value. That's it. That's all we need to do. That's it, actually. Just change that value. So we gotta find it and change it. So we're looking for leader stats. If leader stats, then local points. Points tag. And points value. So this is the tag under the player that actually says how many points the player has. Points value, if points value, then making sure it exists. If it exists, then adjust their points. So points value dot value equals points value dot value, because it's a physical object like the timer. It's very similar to the tiger because it's timer. It's also a int value. So it equals itself plus the points that we're trying to give it, which were defined up here. Cool. So now we take this and we give people points. Where do we give people points? I'm gonna go all the way down to the win, because obviously if you win the game, you win some points. This is kind of convoluted. I'm going to get rid of some of this. Okay. So we're going to... Oh, one thing we want to do real quick while we're in the middle of something, I know, but for the pickup, we're going to want to make sure that we remove all the pickups when the game ends. So this is where it's sorting the results. We're also going to want to remove pickups right here. So when the game ends and maybe there's a net gun left on the ground, we're going to want to remove it. And maybe we're also going to want to clean up hats. Maybe players are dropping their hats. So if v.name equals pickup, or v.className equals hat. Just because players like to drop their hats around, and so we say no. You can drop hats, but once every round they're gonna get cleaned up. Cool. So that removes all the pickups. And what we're doing is we're adding points to all the contestants. So we're gonna want to go through all the contestants when the game ends. That's where we're sorting the game results. For underscore comma player in pairs. So this should be all the players that the game has started with. It's quite a long time, so maybe the player left, so we got to make sure that the player exists. If player so remember up here we set the game results. Actually, we're going to set that to the game result. I like that better. Game result. So, if the game result says that the Bloxxer wins, and the player is the Bloxxer, then bam, we're going to award the player with 9 points, because that's actually a hard role to play. You gotta dominate everybody. That can be difficult. Then else if the game result doesn't equal Bloxxer win, then and player doesn't equal So, the game result isn't for the Bloxxer, so if the players win. If the players win and you're not the Bloxxer, then you're going to get some points. So if you're the sheriff, you get 4 points for winning. And if you're not the sheriff, that means you're just a normal player, a bystander. You should get 2 points for playing. Like, hey, you were playing, you did good. You know, you guys caught the Mad Bloxxer. You get 2 points. And if you're if you win as the sheriff, you get 4 points. And you know what? Everyone that's still alive should also get some points. So how do we go figure out who's still alive? You know what? We teleport all the players back to the lobby right here. So we get all the active contestants right here. So here for the active contestants, we can award them points right here. So everyone who played just for playing, I don't care if you got blocks. You know what? This is actually, no. This is for the active contestants. So if you're playing, you get these points. And if you're alive by the end of the round, you get 1 extra point. So the Mad Bloxxer will in the end get 10 points. The sheriff will get 4. And depending if you live or not, if you get blocks or not as a bystander, you get either 2 or 3 if you guys win. Because you'll get this +1 down here. And then I think that's good for giving away points. Also, the status tag, you probably don't want to say intermission every time people spawn, so we're just going to clear that. Clear the text on it. And that's it for this video. Be sure to check out the next one. See you guys in a minute.